There was a picture on Twitter floating around that showed somebody named their Lightning node Roger Ver, and none of the other Lightning nodes were connecting to it. And they were all laughing and joking around about it and so happy about it.
What's going on, guys? It's KW here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel today. I hope you are having a great day. Although, if you woke up this morning, I'm sure you already are, we're having yet another day of green. As you guys can see down here, we touched the $3,200 mark, and we've pretty much been going up ever since. So, is this the moon, guys? Did we do it? All right, well, we got a long way to go to the moon, but let's have a look at what's going on with the prices. So, Bitcoin is sitting around $3,569, up 3.74% with an overall market cap of $114 billion. You will notice, however, that Bitcoin dominance has actually taken a little bit of a hit, which means the altcoins are feeling the love today. And as you can see, we have XRP up 10%, sitting around 33 cents, Ethereum up 5%, $95. And if we have a look at the biggest gainers of the day, we have Mobile Go up 29%, Monacoin 26, Digitex futures 23, EOS 19, Waves 19. I mean, just crazy gains across the board. Doge, Ontology, Stratus, Digibyte. You guys can see pretty much it's just green across the board, guys. So, what is the big news of the day? Well, on the 8th day of Christmas, Coinbase gave to me, finally, the ability to transfer coin to coin. So a lot of people are excited about this because previously all you could do on Coinbase is just buy a token or a coin, and that was it. And you can either cash it out or you have to send it to another exchange to get whatever crypto you want. Well, now you're going to be able to do it inside the app. Granted, you are limited in your options. You have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Litecoin, ZeroX, and Bitcoin Cash. But they say that conversion will be available on all the mobile applications as well as Coinbase.com. Okay, and they also go on to say that conversions complete instantly and at a lower cost than if done via two separate transactions. So coming over here and seeing what their official charge is over here in the support, it says that their charge is of a spread of 1% for digital currency conversions. However, the actual spread may be higher or lower due to market fluctuations in the price of digital currencies on Coinbase Pro between the time they quote the price and the time that the order executes. Then they say, we do not charge a separate Coinbase fee for digital currency conversions. However, it is 1%, so just be aware of the fact that that's what you're paying. But it's a good feature. I think we've been waiting for it for quite some time. I'm happy, so we'll see how that rolls out. They say they're going to be doing it steadily over the course of the next few days, so I don't know exactly when it'll be available in your region, but keep an eye out for it. Now, some other guys that are also talking about potentially getting in the game are Western Union. So they pretty much went on to say that Western Union, this is the president of Western Union went on to say this. He says, Western Union is ready today to adopt any kind of currency. We already work with 130 currencies. When we feel it's the right time to introduce cryptos into our platform, technology-wise, it's just one more currency. I think cryptocurrency may become one more option of currency or assets around the globe to be exchanged between people and business. If that happens, we would be ready to introduce them on the platform. However, I think what's really funny about this is if it actually does become globally accepted around the world, we're not going to need Western Union. So that's kind of funny, guys.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Also, before we get into it, I just wanted to talk about this that came to my attention. So check out this list for upcoming guests on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. Now, you guys know the Joe Rogan podcast is massive. It's one of the biggest podcasts currently that there is. And if you scroll down here, Andreas Antonopoulos is going to be on one of these episodes soon. If you don't know him, Bitcoin expert, entrepreneur, author. Now, they don't have a specific date for it just yet, but I'm pretty excited about this. So if you guys aren't familiar with who Andreas Antonopoulos is, super fast. This is actually his bio from his site. He's a best-selling author, speaker, educator, and one of the world's foremost Bitcoin and open blockchain experts. He's known for delivering electric talks that combine economics, psychology, technology, and game theory with current events, personal anecdote, and historical precedent effortlessly transliterating the complex issues of blockchain technology out of the abstract and into the real world. That's if you don't know who he is. A lot of people know who he is. So that's pretty good news moving forward. Now, I want to talk about this because that's going to get a lot of exposure. A lot of people are going to see this. I mean, he just had, Singularity Net on there before. So now we have, according to Fast Money, this was an episode that was on last night. Actually, the Telegram chat was talking about this. And basically, they're saying that the cryptocurrency space is set to undergo several changes in the current years, particularly when it comes to the demand of Bitcoin, okay? So in this episode, they pretty much said that currently, teenagers and younger generations will be requesting things like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in place of cash or gift cards when their birthdays or Christmas roll around. Now, this isn't just some like crazy thing that they pulled out of left field. In fact, as you can see from this article that came out about a month ago, it says that for the first time ever, American teenagers polled in 2018 indicating that they actually preferred cryptocurrency and even things like V-Bucks, the virtual currency used in the popular video game Fortnite, as opposed to cash, gift cards, or gas money, or things of that nature. So they go on to say that if teenagers now prefer to use cryptocurrencies and other digital assets in lieu of cash and gift cards, that means that the volume of crypto assets in everyday circulation is only set to grow. So in addition, as well on this episode, they also talked about central banks and institutions that are showing a much stronger demand for, scarce non-sovereign digital assets, while the opportunities for programmable money will grow heavily. So the guy that they had on the show was Spencer Bogart, and he is a partner at Bakkt Capital. And he went on to say that Bitcoin will experience a major comeback next year. He admits that his 2018 prediction of Bitcoin spiking to $50,000 was incorrect. But listen, man, at this point, maybe we could all just kind of put 2018 behind us. I'm not going to hold you for calling a 50,000 Bitcoin. I'm not going to hold this guy for saying this coin's going to the moon. We had a rough year. Okay. That being said, he does say that he's certain 2019 has big things in store for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. He goes on to finally say at the end, at Bakkt Capital, we focus on long-term trends. Could Bitcoin still go to 50,000? Absolutely. How long will it take? I'm not sure. Up until recently, Bitcoin has been a market predominantly driven by retail players. So in bull markets, we go a little bit too high, and in bear markets, we go a little bit too low because we're retail investors. And there's dumb money and there's stupid money. And I'm not saying that we are stupid money, but a lot of us, this was our first time ever experiencing these types of volatile swings. So, that being said, he talks about how it's been a remarkable year despite that, the building, all the different tech, the interest, and you can't ignore things like the fact that Yale and MIT are entering the space as well. We've seen qualified custodians move into the space and a whole new level of talent, including incredible young positive imaginations that are completely taken by the technology. So he says right now, your best bet might be to just ignore the price and look at what we are actually doing with the tech moving forward. And guys, I wanted to just remind everybody too. I mean, the market cap for cryptos is so unbelievably, absurdly small. I mean, we look at crypto every day. I look at crypto every day, but in reality, it's such a small piece of the pie. I mean, look at this right here. Now, these numbers aren't 100% accurate. This is from about 3 weeks ago. But, for example, you have gold market, 7.4 trillion. I mean, Apple, I don't know what it is today. I know they've been taking some hits. But still, look at how small that is on the chart. So just have to point that out as well. And guys, we've seen the institutional interest. We've seen guys like Greyscale accumulating now over 1% of Bitcoins. You could see them accumulating from the beginning of January all the way up to the end of November of this year into December. So they currently hold over 203,000 Bitcoins, estimated over $826 million, and they own 1%. So you could see they have been buying the dip all the way down. We have institution, services coming in like Bakkt futures as well. Also, the reason I'm bringing this up is because for those of you who don't really know what Bakkt is, I actually found a really cool guide, just super fast. And you can see he's got it broken down into contents, and you can come and basically read everything that you want to know about Bakkt. It's not that long of a read, but it's just interesting to say the least. Also, I just wanted to talk really quick that not only have we seen the volume and the interest, but we've also seen ICOs. It looks like they're selling their ETH. They've been selling their ETH. So it looks like they've done over 400,000 in ETH that's moved out of their wallets in just the past 30 days alone. So are they dumping? Are they trying to, get some profits now? I mean, yeah, of course, probably. These guys lost a lot, when they're doing the sales at Ethereum's $500, then it falls all the way down to 80, right? So this is just some data, but like I said, we don't really know if they're definitely selling. The only thing that this basically proves is that they've moved it. So this is from Santiment, it's their data, but it doesn't suggest they're selling, it just suggests that they moved it. Now, I want to get into a big topic today, and this is the discussion about XRP, and could it potentially be the top candidate for the bull run of 2019. Let's have a look into this, okay? And I want to look at this, very objectively. I'm not going to take either side of any argument, okay? We're all in crypto. We're all together here. Let's have a look. So we have this article that came out from CoinSpeaker, and it goes on to say, while Ethereum and Bitcoin have dropped more than 50% in the last 3 months, Ripple's XRP price is almost exactly where it was. In fact, I had brought that chart out to you guys. It was a couple videos ago. I don't have the chart with me, but if you had bought crypto exactly 1 year ago, you would be down on every single purchase, within a top crypto, except for XRP. And that's just statistically. So, basically, this article goes on to say that it saw a spike of nearly double that in October, which I'm sure you guys all saw, but obviously it fell down since then. So Ripple's infrastructure, for those of you who don't know, if you're not familiar how it works, we're going to just really briefly touch it. It's designed to make transactions faster and convenient for banks and other financial institutions. It explains why the platform has seen over 100 institutions adopt its technology, and there's more than that are joining every day. The platform's blockchain RippleNet offers businesses and financial institutions different programs that can help cross-border payments happen smoothly. This includes things like XRapid, a program that allows financial institutions to minimize liquidity costs if they use XRP as a bridge from one fiat currency to another, XCurrent, which is a payment processor system for the banks, and also XVia, which allows businesses to send payment through RippleNet. All three solutions are crucial in enhancing Ripple's value. Now, before we go any further, I want to just show you, this is a historical snapshot from CoinMarketCap from August 11th. And you can see right here, this is from 2013. And XRP has been around for quite some time. Look at this, guys, 0.004 cents. Wow, can you imagine if you guys got it at that price? That's crazy. But anyway, so you could see Ripple's been around for a while. It's not a new kid on the block, okay? It's definitely paid its dues. So, talking about it. So when you use XRP, it's basically a bridge currency that will help to accomplish the cross-border payments in a maximum time of 3 to 4 seconds. And unlike traditional banks, XRP and Ripple's technology can be used 24/7, 365. Obviously, crypto never sleeps. We know this. But let's talk about some of its accomplishments. Well, honestly, I don't have enough time to do an entire list, but they've made some massive partnerships recently. You have financial institutions around the world. You have Israel's GMT, you have Turkey's Akbank, MoneyGram, American Express, CIBC, Earthport, and many more who have had access to Ripple's blockchain technology for cross-border payments, and that's only naming a few. I mean, I've been covering a lot of this daily for you guys. So the SEC, this is the situation, though, that we do have to bring up, worrying about, could it stifle the innovation. So the SEC did not provide information yet on whether XRP is a security or not. However, the SEC has been going pretty hard after some other ICOs that have been accused of selling unregistered securities. We've seen this with things like Paragon and AirFox and a few others as well. So the question is XRP a security? I mean, one of the biggest questions that I've heard from the community so far is, with all of these different coins that are being listed, how come we've only put XRP into Coinbase's custody, but we haven't actually allowed people to purchase XRP directly? Number 2 cryptocurrency, but yet the most used pretty much fiat gateway in the United States can't use it to purchase XRP. So that's something that we do have to, consider and think about. So One thing that we do want to talk about is the possibility to decentralize Ripple and the XRP network in order for it to not be considered a security. So right now, we've heard a lot of people saying that, Ripple and XRP, it's too centralized, right? These guys own too much. So the SEC's William Hinman said that there might be other decentralized networks and systems in which it might not be necessary to regulate tokens or coins. Right? So if we have a look over here, how many do they actually own? Well, it says that apparently, this is according to Michael Nardolio, they own 55 billion XRP. Now, I don't know for a fact. I've heard different numbers. I've heard that they own, 60%. I've heard that they own 80%, but they're saying 55 billion. So if we come over here and we have a look, currently in circulating supply, there's 40, but what we really want to look at is the total right up here. So if the total supply is 99 billion and they currently hold 55 billion, well, that's more than half. So I would say that there could be an argument for centralization. Now let's move a little forward beyond that as well. So they go on to explain that Bitcoin and Ethereum have been described as cryptocurrencies with large communities and many companies working together. So Hinman showed that these two cryptos were decentralized. However, Ripple raises some concern since XRP depends on what Ripple does to a very important extent, right? So pretty much this is something that is the Howey test, essentially. So what is the Howey test?
The Howey test asks whether the value of a transaction for one of its participants is dependent upon the other's work. Specifically, the Howey test determines that a transaction represents an investment contract if a person invests his money in a common enterprise and is led to expect profits solely from the efforts of the promoter or a third party.
So as you can see, there is somewhat of an issue that if people are expecting the price to raise based on just Ripple's work alone or what they do, then that could be classified as a security. But the thing I wanted to talk about is that things are changing. For example, you have other companies like Omni and Coil that are actually helping and developing outside to facilitate XRP payments as well. So Ripple has also been added onto leading travel website Travala, and I can actually verify that. If we come over to Travala right now and we scroll, this is basically you can travel to all these different places. You can pay using crypto, and if we scroll down here, you can see they obviously accept their token, AVA, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Dash, XRP, BNB, EOS, XLM, and True USD as well. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, scrolling down here, we do know that XRP has been kind of the basis of ridicule, okay? A lot of people kind of considered it the outcast. In fact, when I first got into cryptocurrencies, like when I just first started looking into them, I didn't really know much about XRP. At the time, it was still just being referred to as Ripple. They hadn't started calling the token XRP just yet. And basically, everyone was like, it's a bank coin, it's this, and don't get involved, and it's centralized. So a lot of people had a lot of bad tastes in their mouth. But as we begin to see how this is developing and what it could potentially do for cryptocurrencies and the ecosystem, a lot of people recently have sort of warmed up to the idea. And I think the thing before we move on any farther is we need to recognize that XRP and Bitcoin do not need to fight. We don't have to have these fights between the XRP army and the Bitcoin maximalists, guys. They have their own use cases and they're good for their own purposes, right? I think it's important that we come together as a community and realize that one may not suit the needs for others. I mean, granted, somebody may like, let's say, really heavy metal, right? Like hard, mosh pit type stuff. And maybe somebody else likes dance music and they're like, well, that music sucks because you can't dance to it, right? Well, maybe the person listening to it doesn't want to dance or doesn't like dancing. So if the person doesn't like or enjoy dancing, then that doesn't suit their needs. You see what I'm saying? Or I don't know, let's say different types of food. You have a certain type of food. I have a certain type of food. I don't like what you're eating. You don't like what I'm eating. But both of those foods fill us up so we don't starve, right? I don't know. I'm going off my rocker here. So we have the SVP of Global Operations at Ripple, Eric Van Mitberg, and he said that we use blockchain technology and digital assets to remove friction from global payments. From the very beginning, we've worked within the existing international banking system as opposed to going around it. And that's where they were getting some of the flack, But hey, what are you going to do, guys? So engaging with regulators worldwide to ensure success for our customers. We've also had some pretty exciting regulatory processes process as well. They also talk about the signs of success in emerging markets around the world, especially the ASEAN market. So in this region, millions are gaining access to banking services for the first time through non-banking channels like mobile wallets. The World Bank estimates that the East Asia market receives around 129 billion in remittance payments in just last year alone. To put that in perspective, that is higher than the entire market cap of crypto right now. The whole market cap of crypto, okay? So just wanted to point that out, but we still have that concern about, is it centralized? Well, let's take a look at what's going on. So you have the co-founder and former CEO Chris Larsen. He stepped down in 2016. He now serves as executive chairman of Ripple and has 5.19 billion XRP in his personal holdings and a 17% stake in the company. We also have the current CEO, Brad Garlinghouse. He owns 6.3% stake in Ripple, okay? And he's worth around $9.5 billion. Must be nice. Now, if we go back over here, the one thing that I do want to note is that, yes, the Ripple does own 55 billion, but it says that they can only sell 1 billion per month. We can see exactly what they do with them because they are on the XRPL. They only use them for donations to charity and to sell to companies interested in using XRP to further the XRP ecosystem. So out of the 1 billion every month, they usually only use around 100 million, or roughly 10%. The other 900 million usually just gets put back into the escrow. So at this rate, the original 5 years of escrow could last up to 10. Potentially. This is perfect. It slowly adds XRP to the ecosystem as companies enter, but this assures that coins aren't basically being dumped on the market like we've seen some of these ICOs doing. Everything is in escrow and on the XRPL, all public for everyone to see how much they use and where it goes. But the question is the security. Is it going to be a security? Because think about it. CZ came out the other day and he said if they end up classifying this thing as a security, a lot of people are going to be very devastated, very upset, especially in the US. So is it possible for Ripple and XRP to get around this? So there's an article that came out from Crypto Briefing. They talk about what's been happening with these ICOs, AirFox, Paragon. We talked about them. So the question is, maybe. Could they get around it? So by rapidly pushing their cryptocurrencies to full functionality, crypto companies like Ripple could create enough facts on the ground to escape a security classification altogether. And they go on to say, Ripple may be too big to fail. Let's dive in. So there was the Yahoo Finance Summit, okay? And we had our good old buddy who we just spoke about, SEC's William Hinman, and he publicly stated that treating Ether or Bitcoin as securities would seem to add little value. But the question is, does it apply to XRP? So he goes on to say that for a utility token to be distributed freely without regulation by securities laws, it must be functional. But many utility tokens are only functional if they are distributed widely enough so that a decentralized system arises. And this is what is being referred to as the Hinman paradox. So the truth is, very few ICOs, as you know, they suggest, will ever be sufficiently decentralized to escape the Hinman paradox. And the Ripple question is not something that we shouldn't be asking, okay? So based on what is publicly known of the SEC's enforcement, XRP is one of the best positioned to become decentralized enough to pass the Howey test. We spoke about the Howey test just before. Hopefully you're well acquainted with that. So, XRP, is it a functioning utility question? Well, the fallacy, as SEC officials have made clear since 2016, is that almost every case utility is on a non-existent platform. And the reality is, guys, the vast majority of ERC-20s are definitely securities. A lot of these that we are seeing right now, okay, if we go back to CoinMarketCap, a lot of these that we're seeing in here could potentially be securities, especially as we start to go down, you know, these farther pages towards page 2. Yeah, so we're not going to get into this right now, but yes, a lot of them could potentially end up being securities moving forward. But unlike most utility tokens, XRP already has functionality, okay? Unlike most ICOs, XRP isn't intended for anything other than a system for payments and settlements, okay? The platform is already functional. Anyone can use XRP for purchases or payments, and after the XRapid launch, XRP is also in use for cross-border liquidity. Now, we do know that the banks do not have to use it. However, I assume that there will be some incentive for them to use XRapid on top of Xcurrent as well. Obviously, we have that question of decentralization. We have spoken about this. Omni and Coil are both facilitating payments in XRP. Both companies have strong ties to Ripple Labs, and nonetheless, they are separate entities, so this is giving a better claim that XRP depends on a market ecosystem rather than one single company. So while the SEC has not ruled anything out, all of its recent enforcements have been against tokens that launched after the 2017 DAO, when the first body was warned that tokens could be securities. So they go on to say, basically, in the words of Coin Source's Deputy General Counsel Max Rich, they're putting out current fires rather than attending to the charred remains of old fires. So what does this mean in a nutshell? This shouldn't be taken as an argument that XRP is not a security, okay? No one's saying that. I can't legally say that. But the fact that many investors regard Ripple Labs as the central actor for XRP, not to mention the enormous centralization of Ripple's tokens, this is something that we do have to see moving forward. But this doesn't mean that it's the end game. And as stated by the Hinman paradox, a certain amount of centralization is unfortunately required as an effort in order to get decentralization and decentralized projects off the ground, right? So this depends on how high Ripple is on the SEC's list of priorities. Ripple may have enough time and resources to convincingly turn the XRP into a truly decentralized asset. So if they keep things up and time is on their side, well, then 2019 could prove to be a massive, massive year for XRP. And that's all I have to say about that, guys. Now, we got to get into some other coins. We've been talking about XRP for, about 10 minutes up in this. So let's talk about what is going on. So we have IOHK Plutus Fest keynotes. This is the address by Charles Hoskinson. If you're interested, it is about 22 minutes long. Check that out. I know you guys definitely like your Cardano news. We also have the Icon Foundation. So they have announced today that they've signed a strategic partnership with Japanese blockchain consulting firm LayerX. So this MOU aims to vitalize the Icon developer community in Japan, as well as ensure the integrity of the Icon network through a code audit alliance, which I think is great. I think we need to have our codes audited every so often, make sure that things are, looking good, okay? We also have NKN has announced Dr. Stephen Wolfram has joined the NKN project as technical advisor. So as you can see right here, they already have Whitfield Diffie on. He's the inventor of the public key and key cryptography, and now they have this dude as well. So pretty much, Stephen Wolfram is the creator of Mathematica, Wolfram Alpha, and the Wolfram language, the author of A New Kind of Science, and the founder and CEO of Wolfram Research. So over the course of nearly 4 decades, he's been a pioneer in the development and application of computational thinking and has been responsible for many discoveries, inventions, and innovations in science, technology, and business. So that is pretty good news for NKN moving forward. And also, guys, I just wanted to let you know that AERGO global listing is finally available. It was currently only available to Korean citizens. So now today, US citizens can buy it on Kucoin if that's something that you guys are interested in. Now, let's get into some other news. Now, this is not so good news. We were talking about the excitement over what was happening, and unfortunately, we have the National Assembly over in France, under the impetus of the government yesterday, rejected all proposed improvements to the tax system plan for crypto assets. So, rejection of the amendments to defer the taxable event at the time of these happening basically says that, so they're not doing it. They're not doing it. I'm not going to read all this mumbo jumbo, but as you can see over here, on Twitter, we have, Manji Crypto says, you remember the ambitious French plan about crypto taxes? Well, it just got rejected. French cashing, if you're cashing out more than 30K, you'll need to pay 60%? Wow. I thought it was bad over here in the US, but 60%? Guys, that is straight up extortion, in my opinion. But anyway, We don't have all bad news today. So, tZERO, we were speaking about them just yesterday, and Hong Kong-based GRS Capital's partnership is focused on developing an ecosystem in Asia for tokenized commodity purchases contracts that would purportedly improve the supply chain process of rare metals. Additionally, the parties are looking to launch a security token platform in the region following compliance with regulatory requirements, okay? And if that's not enough, this is not a graph of crypto, guys. This is actually 2.5 years of text history with my fiance from swiping on Bumble. Okay, guys, I gotta get out of here. So that being said, before we go, it's just a joke. It's a joke, guys. So before we go, I just wanted to say that they have actually extended it to 9 days left for the Cold Wallet giveaway. So originally this was only supposed to be 3 days. They've extended it. This is awesome. So there's more chances for you guys to get involved if you want. This is 2 Cold Pro wallets we're giving away, $620 value each. If you're interested, you can go on over to the Blockchain Brief website, link in the description. And yeah, you can get all your info there. And just to let you guys know, they're also running a holiday deal, which is basically if you buy a year's subscription, you get your first issue absolutely free. As you guys know, I do write articles for this magazine. So yeah, just wanted to kind of put that out there. And that being said, guys, once again, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Everyone that's been liking, subscribing, commenting, you guys are freaking awesome. You rock. Seriously, I appreciate everything. I love you guys. You're the reason that I do what I do, really, seriously. So it's a two-way street here, guys. So that being said, thank you so much. Enjoy your Tuesday. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.